is Sarah, Block Editor. I'm here with Mark, MHL.eth, one of your Neo-Tokyo Council members. This series of interviews is designed to introduce citizens to their community leads and community councils. So first of all, welcome, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you so much for having me, Sarah.
You bet. So roll us off here with where we always start, which is who you were before crypto. Give us your pre-crypto background.
Oh, there isn't much to say there, to be honest. I joined crypto when I was 17. I was still going at high school, and so never had a background there, to be honest. It's now 8+ years I'm in the crypto space. I've been hanging around with a lot of friends there, but I don't really have a prior to Bitcoin to crypto background, but I do own businesses in the Web2 space, real estate, farms, and that's something which is very interesting to me because I really like the connection with nature and the digital space too. So even though they are opposite things, I'd say, I really do like it. Yeah.
I know we've had this convo before, and you are one of the young guys in crypto. It seems like you should have a really huge background because you've gone so far already. But I did already know the answer to that question. So take us into your crypto journey. How did you get into this? How did it all start?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the fun story there. So I was 17, wanted to hang out with girls, had no money, asked my father. He told me, no, go and work, do something. I was too lazy to work. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to make quick money. And the best way for me to make quick money at the time was selling a golden necklace I received as a gift when I was a kid. And I sold it, I think it was like November 2015. I sold it for Bitcoins. And then when I sold it to a friend of mine, former friend of mine, because he got liquidated after doing the 2018 bear market. And so what happened is that I got scammed for the first time because I had these Bitcoins there. I didn't know what to do with them, and I couldn't withdraw them because I was minor, so no way to verify myself on CXs. And so I said, you know what, let's put them on work. I started trading without knowing what trading was, without having no idea how economy work or finance or technology. I was very, very new also to computers at the time. But I saw the opportunity and I started educating myself. Even though I was losing some of these Bitcoins while trading, I started educating myself in that period of time. And in 2017, I got lucky and that Bitcoin left. I managed to sell it at a high price there during the bull market. I invested in ICOs in that period too, when I discovered Ethereum and its potential. I'm talking about 2017, 2018 there. And during that 2018, I started losing money again because I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I put myself through a lot of education when I discovered tokenomics, where then it became very, very important to me. And that's also the main thing I do almost every day. And after that first experience, I started providing analysis reports to friends of mine, and then sharing this with free of charge with a few communities I was part of, local communities on Telegram. And then a friend of mine just told me, you know what, there is potential here, so you should try to sell these services of yours. I said, you know what, let's try it. And the first time I made my first $10 by selling a research I did in 30 minutes, I was like, amazing. That's huge. It's a big potential there. And playing around, I started getting some clients there, and then started advising a few project founders on token-based project, and then move forward with NFT-based project. And then we all know 2022 I launched MHL solutions, and now that's all I do. I develop all the tokenomics, and this is pretty much my story there.
I love it. From gold chain necklace to tokenomics advisor. And that's a big thing, the first $10. I remember when I sold my first white paper, I was twice as old as you were, but it was just as exciting. Okay, let's get into how you got into Neo Tokyo. What was the process?
Yeah, so I was looking at the time, I say almost 3 years ago. Could it be? Yeah, yeah, I think yeah. I was looking for I was looking for DAOs to join in DAO-driven ventures, and I came across Sitka, and so I was like, okay, that's very interesting. Let's join that. I also joined Spectre, but I didn't really bought the NFT there. But it was very interesting in this new concept of a community investing together. And so I started connecting with a few guys there. I spoke with one of the guy connected who is also the founder there, and he was looking for technology. I was like, okay, you know what? I do provide these services. Let's see if they are interested into my services too. And after a few days of chatting around, I joined the team at SitCup. And a few months later, we partnered up with New Tokyo. And I had to participate into an AMA in the private Discord. And the only way to do it was by buying the NFT. So I went straight to OpenSea. I bought my NFT for $800, and I spoke like 3 minutes in the AMA, and that's how it started basically. So I fell in love with the community very fast. After 1 week, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep uh, this NFT because it seems to be very interesting what they are cooking here. So that is my history with NT. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I joined as an S2 as well, and it was quite an experience that I couldn't walk away from. So let's get into your current focus. You touched a little bit. We know you're the tokenomics guy. Tell us where you spend your time, what you're working on.
Yeah. So I spend, I'd say, 95% of my time it's to my company. Uh, I work with a lot of clients in the Web3 space, both infrastructure project, DeFi. I also work with uh, NFT projects, and recently, good ones, I also say. Uh, and most recently, I developed tokenomics for iAgent, which is an AI infrastructure. I developed tokenomics for Locket Money, which is basically it's something very interesting. Not sure even if I can talk about it, but it's very interesting. Uh, and also I work with the plushes NFTs. A lot of projects out there. My focus is into building tokenomics that are going to make, I'd say, the difference out there because there isn't yet much information about tokenomics and how to analyze properly one or how to develop one. So I'm trying to do my part into collecting data, building new stuff, and hopefully somebody after me will build better stuff than what I did. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do also with my company.
Amazing. And let's get into your, this is your main expertise. We know what it is, but tell us how you became the numbers guy.
Actually, I never been the numbers guy. I'd say until I was like 19 or something like that. I never had such a big interest over numbers, not even at school, to be honest. Yeah, I was good, but not that good. My interest into tokenomics, it's more of a psychological interest, behavioral interest, because I've been studying human behaviors for quite some time. And I'm self-taught, by the way. I never been to university, unfortunately, but I choose that. I choose to make money very early. Uh, and so I had to teach myself a lot of stuff. I had to do courses. I had to learn from YouTube and reading blogs and all this kind of stuff. But I always had this sort of curiosity towards human behavior. And when I was studying tokenomics, which was like I don't know, reading another language for me because numbers weren't I wasn't very familiar with it. I thought, you know what? But I see also the behavioral side, the psychology side of things here, so I should get myself into the numbers too. And I went upstairs in my room and I took one of these books from my third grade and I started reading that. I was like, okay, it's time for me to learn this stuff, okay, not just for the test, but for my life. And so I started learning it and I started understanding tokenomics and it's not that hard, you know, but the thing is, I very often think of uh, these professors of mine telling me, you need to know equations, you need to know how these things work because you're gonna use them in the future. I was like, no, that's not. I'm never gonna use that. Okay, never, 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 never. And I was wrong, and they were right. So I went back and read my books from third grade, and I'd say this is how I became the number guy. Even though I'm not a mathematician nor an economist, I think because I was driven by this aspect of psychology, I had to learn the numbers too, and that's pretty much how it started.
Well, you're in the right business for it. So let's
Yeah.
check. Let's go ahead and touch on what you don't like working on. So if there's citizens out there and they're looking to reach out, what should they not reach out to you for?
Well, if you want to build economics in 5 minutes, I can copy paste it somewhere, but you're not gonna like it. I'm not gonna take credit over it because I'm not gonna like it either. And so the best way to do there is just not work together. I don't develop tokenomics just for the sake of raising money. I don't develop tokenomics just because you don't know what to do with your project and you want to drop there a token. I don't develop tokenomics for meme coins. Uh, I have some sort of rules, I'd say, on which project I want to work with, because at the end of the story, these tokenomics I'm taking credit for, they represent me and my business. And I want to make sure that my potential clients are going to see good jobs of mine being delivered out there. I'd like also to select my clients, as I'm a one-man company, so I can't really work on 3, 4 different projects at the same time. So I rather select the client, meaning that I'm focused 100% on what I'm doing, and that's pretty much how I like to work. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about what you're most known for in Neo Tokyo. What have you contributed in the ecosystem?
Well, I started with SeedCap, so I was doing the analysis there for the projects. I was betting, basically, giving my opinion, and after a while, then I moved forward to my company. I also delivered a few analysis, economics analysis, market analysis. After that period, when I also launched my company, after working 8 or 9 months with SeedCap. I've been always in touch with. I try to connect with all the citizens because I believe in the network effect, and so I thought, you know what, let's try to connect with as much people as possible because that's the way to go, right? And during that period of time, I also uh, managed to get some visibility out there, and so people were recognizing me because I was that tokenomics guy, and so they were just reaching out to me for a few advisory there. And afterwards, I said, you know what, it's time to give back because I felt like I was draining the community out there because some of them became my clients over time, and then with others such as yourself, we build a relationship, a business relationship. And so I said, you know what, let's give something back and apply for becoming a constant member. I thought that would be the best position for me because I'm a consultant, so I like to give advices to people. I like to tell people what they should do, right? Uh, and so I thought that would be the best position. Prior to that, though, which I'm still doing that, it's I'd say 1 year now. I'm part also the PRP there. Uh, at the PRP, we are doing something very interesting. We are putting together founders. So if you are a New Tokyo citizen and you also are a founder or an executive of a big brand out there, you can reach out to us. We can have chat. It's not like consulting these guys, but more like putting them together in a safe space where they can ask each other help. Because sometimes it sounds weird, but a lot of founders, they don't ask for help because they feel ashamed of it because it doesn't look professional. When I say it really does look professional because it means that because nobody knows everything, so it's important to ask that. And we try to put them together there. And when Damon pitched me the project, I was like, "Oh, damn, that's very, very interesting." So I started being part of the team there. And we had so many calls over the past year with so many new Turkish citizens joining us. We felt like there were lots of people there. We are talking about 100, maybe 150 founders within the Citadel, which is not, which is a big number, I'd say, compared to the supply of our collection. So I'm very pumped. I'm very stoked for that because we have, I'd say, the best founders in the space, collective-wise.
Amazing. And I know I've seen a lot going on over at the Project Resource Program. It's been a great place to network. And I've also seen a lot of your contributions to the Neo Tokyo News, which you didn't bring up. So I'll plot that in there as well. Now we're going to move on to our hardest question. One word to associate with MHL.eth. Now, originally, we started this question thinking we were going to get answers like marketing, NFTs, or kind of what you do. We've gotten a whole plethora of answers. So we can go with the business side, or we can go with the other side, in which we've gotten words like feisty and nerd and things like that. So you get to choose one word to associate with Mark.
Businesses, business. I really don't like to build businesses on top of Web3. And I'm a huge believer of you have to generate revenue. It's the word we use, Web3 projects. It's actually kind of wrong because projects are, well, businesses need to make money, right? And so every time we build these new projects out there, it's because we try to make money, so for ourselves but also for other people. And so actually these are Web3 businesses, and that's what I try to do. I try to build them, I try to improve them, and I think that's also why I joined the council member there, the council, because I feel like I can give my contribution into building that revenue for NT, because it's needed. It's needed not for NT only, but for all the communities out there, because the only way to keep people together is by giving them something, and most of the time it's financial. So that's my word. Yeah.
I love that word for you. And actually, you jogged my memory. A lot of people don't know that we run a podcast together, How I Met Web3. And I know when we are interviewing guests, that question always comes up when it is your turn. And you always throw the, how do you make revenue at them to make sure it's all laid out. And I love that about that part of the interview process. All right, last question. Beyond Neo Tokyo, who is Mark? What are your hobbies outside of this world of Web3, if there are any?
Yeah, I like to drive bikes. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna buy one tomorrow. So I can't wait to go to sleep and wake up tomorrow morning. It's gonna be like Christmas. I do like nature a lot. I do like mountains. I'm crazy about it. I grew up in the mountains, and every time I can, especially in the weekend, I try to take my bike or my car and travel as much as I can and get as far as I can from my computer. Even though it's making me money, sometimes it's also bringing some stress, right? Because this market never sleeps, and so it is important for us to take that moment for ourselves, that me time, and I try to leverage as much as I can the Sundays, especially. I've been a footballer for like 18 years. I don't do that anymore because my heart is not the same as I sit down for I'd say 8 to 10 hours per day. So I'm not very active there, even though I try to go to gym and listen to music. I'm a huge opera fan, because grew up in Italy. So another hobby is I watch movies as much as I can. It's a very good way to relax yourself and also put your mind as far as you can from in my case tokenomics and whatever you guys are trying to chill from. Yeah.
I love it. We're gonna test out your opera skills on one of these next episodes here soon. And that is all we have for today. We're going to wrap this up. This is Sarah, block editor. Today we had Mark, MHL.eth. This was another one of your community council member episodes, and we will be back with another one next week.